Have you noticed how a slogan that started as a protest chant in one location can suddenly appear thousands of kilometers away and become part of a much bigger political conversation? That is exactly what many Nigerians have been discussing in recent days as demonstrations carrying the Tinubu Must Go message reportedly gained attention both within Nigeria and among some Nigerians living abroad. Beyond the chants and placards, the bigger question many people are asking is whether these developments are simply isolated protests or early signs of a more intense political battle ahead of the 2027 elections. As conversations continue across Lagos, Abuja, social media platforms, and even among Nigerians in the diaspora, the issue is no longer just about protests. It is now becoming a debate about public dissatisfaction, political opposition, economic pressures, and the future of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's political ambitions. Before we continue, if you enjoy balanced political analysis and updates that break down complex issues in simple language, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with others. And most importantly, drop your thoughts in the comments section because your opinion is part of this conversation. Over the past several months, Nigeria's political atmosphere has become increasingly active. Rising living costs, debates over economic reforms, concerns about insecurity in some areas, and discussions surrounding governance have all contributed to growing political engagement among citizens. While supporters of the current administration argue that difficult reforms are necessary to stabilize the economy and create long-term growth, critics insist that ordinary Nigerians are carrying too much of the burden. Against this backdrop, reports and videos circulating online have shown groups of protesters carrying anti-government messages, including the now familiar Tinubu Must Go slogan. According to various local accounts and media reports, some demonstrations have appeared in parts of Lagos and Abuja, while similar expressions of dissatisfaction have also surfaced among some Nigerians living in the United Kingdom and other foreign locations. For many observers, what makes this development noteworthy is not necessarily the size of any individual protest, but the symbolism behind it. When political messages travel beyond national borders and begin appearing among diaspora communities, they often attract wider attention. It suggests that conversations about governance and national direction are no longer limited to people living inside the country. Supporters of the president, however, have pushed back strongly against the narrative being promoted by critics. They argue that every democratic government faces opposition, especially during periods of major economic restructuring. They point to ongoing government initiatives, infrastructure projects, efforts to attract investment, and attempts to reform key sectors of the economy as evidence that the administration remains focused on long-term goals. At the same time, opposition figures and activists continue to argue that many Nigerians are judging the government based on present realities rather than future promises. They say concerns about purchasing power, employment opportunities, food prices, transportation costs, and everyday living conditions remain major issues for millions of households. This is where the political conversation becomes even more interesting. As attention remains focused on public protests, reports and political speculation have increasingly shifted toward what may be happening behind closed doors within Nigeria's political establishment. In Nigerian politics, public events often tell only part of the story. The other part usually unfolds through consultations, alliances, negotiations, and strategic planning among political leaders. As discussions about the 2027 elections slowly gather momentum, analysts have started paying attention to reports suggesting that some political figures within the ruling APC may already be assessing different scenarios for the future. Now, it is important to be careful here. There is no official confirmation that APC senators are carrying out any coordinated effort to stop President Tinubu from seeking or securing a second term. However, political observers frequently note that as elections approach, Internal debates are common within major parties. Different groups often emerge with varying opinions about strategy, leadership, and electoral calculations. What fuels these rumors is the simple reality that politics is constantly evolving. Some politicians may believe continuity is the best option for the ruling party. Others may privately worry about voter sentiment, economic conditions, or emerging opposition coalitions. Some may focus on regional considerations, while others may be looking at electoral mathematics. As a result, whenever reports of internal consultations begin to circulate, public attention naturally increases. Political insiders often describe this period as the phase where conversations happen quietly. Meetings occur away from television cameras. Alliances are tested. Support bases are measured. Future possibilities are examined. Whether those conversations are actually taking place at the level being claimed remains difficult to verify. But what is beyond dispute is that Nigeria's political class is already paying close attention to 2027, even though the election is still some distance away. One factor contributing to the speculation is the growing activity among opposition figures. Over recent months, various opposition leaders have appeared increasingly willing to cooperate on issues where they share common concerns. Reports of joint appearances, consultations, and coordinated political messaging have led some analysts to believe that opposition groups may be exploring ways to strengthen their position ahead of the next presidential contest. For the ruling APC, this presents both a challenge and an opportunity. The challenge is obvious. A united opposition can potentially create stronger competition than a fragmented one. The opportunity is equally clear. If the ruling party can maintain internal unity and successfully convince voters that current reforms will produce positive results, it could strengthen its position heading into the election cycle. This is why every protest, every political statement, every rumor of internal disagreement, and every opposition gathering is now receiving much greater attention than it might have received a few years ago. Another important point, often overlooked, is the role of public perception. In politics, perception can sometimes be almost as important as reality itself. When citizens see protesters on the streets, some may view it as evidence of widespread dissatisfaction. Others may see it as a normal feature of democracy, where people exercise their right to express opinions. The same event can generate completely different interpretations, depending on an individual's political perspective.